Hello, brothers and sisters. This is Sabata with the Equatorial Advocacy Foundation. I'm the Director for Resource Mobilization. Today is June 19th, 2020. And I would like to discuss with you sources of the problems that are facing Equatorians around this time. Brothers and sisters, as you might have realized, that Equatorians at this time are faced with crumbling insecurity around their areas, influx of cattle settlers around the equatorial areas, and these settlers are armed, all right? And Equatorians are also facing land grabbing issues and inadequate development in the territories of the Equatoria. Brothers and sisters, all these things that I've just mentioned here right now are symptoms. They are symptoms, or you can refer to them as effect or result of a cause. Okay? They themselves are not causes, but they are symptoms or result or effect of a cause, all right? And it is a result or effect of what cause? Absence of federation in our system of governance. That is, absence of federalism has caused all these symptoms or these effects to be noticed. I want to give a simple example that could be well understood. You see, brothers and sisters, if I, Sabata, has been hit by a stroke, and as a result of that, I have lost memory and it's not sharp enough any longer, and I cannot speak well because some of my senses are now damaged, and half of my body no longer responds or functions normally because those senses have become numbed. And if a person comes and asks me that, Sabata, what has caused your condition to be like that, or what's the cause of your condition to be like that, I will articulate that the cause is stroke. And that will be very clear to the person who is listening and the person who is a person to whom I am addressing my problem, okay? I will be very straight and say, the symptoms that you are seeing in me is caused by stroke. So everything then becomes a symptom, all right? The loss of memory, the inability to speak well, the loss of senses that makes me respond or makes one side of my body to respond well, all those are now symptoms of what is called a cause. So in a similar way, the issues that I have explained to you earlier, the inadequate development in the areas of Equatoria, the land grabbing, the deteriorating security conditions, all those are symptoms. Those are results or effects of what? Of absence of federalism. Because if we had federalism in place, all those symptoms will not show. Why? Because eventually the state authorities will have what is called police power. They will eventually be able to establish what is called state police or state troopers, or however you want to call it, to enforce whatever laws they are going to manufacture or they are going to deliberate on through their parliamentarians or through their state legislative chambers, you see. So basically, what we are seeing right now that has been happening in Equatoria are symptoms. These are results of what? These are results or effects of absence of federalism. So absence of federalism has caused all these things to happen. This is important, by the way, just in case you would like to address problems that we are facing in the equatorial area. You will be able to articulate it clear, and the person who is listening to you will understand you very clearly. If you are unable to articulate our problems very well in the equatorial area, the result of that, let me give an example. For example, I'm having lost memory. I am undergoing disability in speaking well, and not feeling one side of my body as a result of stroke that has caused all this. And somebody comes and asks me, Sabata, what's the cause of your condition? And instead of just articulating that it's stroke, going straight, direct, I start talking about I can't speak well, my tongue can't articulate the words very well, I am undergoing lost memory, and I can't feel one side of my body, and I present all this as though these are causes, as though these are, you know, I'm presenting them as though they are causes. Then that will confuse the person who is listening, and the person who is listening may not understand me very well. You see what I'm saying? And if I am expecting any help of advice or guide from the person who is listening to me articulating the cause of my problems, then the person himself will be very confused and may not propose a solution as a result of that. So it's always best to articulate our problems very well, and that is important, especially if we have a chance to present our problems somewhere out as to what is really causing all the issues that we are seeing at this time. We should be able to articulate it very well, that it is absence of federalism, and always articulate very well that with implementation of federalism, then it will eradicate those problems, and we should be able to always articulate how they will eradicate those problems. Like, for example, if we have federalism in place and power has been devolved to the state, and the federal power has also been limited such that the federal will not intervene in certain areas, and that includes area of security, for example. And then we'll be able to articulate that, well, for that manner then, for that matter then, we will be able to enforce our land rules or land laws within our states amicably within parameters of our security system within the state, opposed to if it is the federal who is basically imposing it on us, then it might not be imposed fairly, given we are a nation of nation that is deeply rooted in tribes, and our security sector that are now centralized are basically not nationalistic in character, but are too tribalistic in character. It's very important to be able to articulate very well how federalism will be able to solve those problems. So in this way, one will not be very confusing, or you might not, in this way you will cease to confuse the person who is also listening. This is a very short video that I would like to share with you people, and I hope from now on we the Equatorians should realize that the major problem that we are really having is absence of federalism. That is basically the problem that we are faced with. and the other problems that absence of federalism has caused are basically symptoms. What we are seeing, what we would narrate, land grabbing and all those are simply effects, those are results or symptoms of the cause, which is absence of federalism. This is important, brothers and sisters, just in case you will be in position to address problems of Equatoria. And until we engage again to discuss another topic, enjoy your time and stay safe from COVID-19. Thank you very much.